Delighted to be back with Alain Chetrit of the Knowledge Pledge. And I'm excited about the pledge. So, but this is a different question that I always love. Alain, influencers can come in one quick second, or they can come over a lifetime and all different shapes and sizes. Can you share with us two or three or so people that have been influencers in your life?
Thank you. Yes. Well, definitely my father. My father had a great sense of responsibility to be charitable and putting himself behind others. And so I also learned something from him about integrity. He was in the diamond business. It's a business that relies on trust and reputation. So he would always talk to us about the only thing we own in this world is our name. That was his way of saying our reputation. But he would always say that. Same way your grandparents were saying that, health first. My mother was mentioning about so our name, our reputation. So that certainly is one. In my business career, I would say that Jochen Holy, the owner of Hugo Boss AG, German firm, when I basically approached them to do this Hugo Boss stores, and that it was a good, it turned out to be a good idea. They didn't have any of those, so so I became in his circle. Basically, we traveled and we went to have fun, but I got to know the individual. I was first intimidated. I was, this was the big mache, right?
Yeah.
But he was so humble. I mean, he was just another guy, and he was really kind, and he was charitable, and he was a lot of fun, and he wove basically the fun into every part of the business, and so I remember traveling with him to go to sports events all over the world because they sponsored sports,
Right.
and so I was fortunate to be in his circle, and I saw that one can be very successful, very famous. People would come and think of him as the Hugo Boss, and go, it was just wonderful to see. I'm going to also refer to a third person, or maybe more of a group of people. In my YPO leadership years, I got to, I was on the international board, and on the international board, I realized that those who became more visible and who moved up to become chairman were really humble people. And I thought humility was an attribute that I respected, first of all, but also that was serving people very well. Those who are kind and act with humility, and they're there. And so, I served on the board for 5 years, so there were 5 individual chairmen over the years. So I'm not going to name everyone, but several of them were quite impressive in the way they conducted themselves, and that was a good influence on me.
Going back to the whole leaders who care thing, people have finally realized that. In fact, I had a leader tell me this a while back. He said, it's actually easier now for me to be a leader because it's okay for me to be vulnerable. I don't have to pretend that I know everything.
Isn't that interesting? That is, yeah, vulnerability is important. Yes, thank you.
So thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you, Mark. It was great to be on your call.